So, in honor of our date-iversary here,
Yep.
why don't we together travel back in time a little bit?
Let's grab the time machine and let's time travel back.
Alrighty.
So I got my time machine. It's a watch. It's a clock. It tracks time.
Cute.
Thank you. Dad joke. Did you get it?
I did get it.
Really?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Eden,
And I'm Michael.
and we are Majorly Married.
Okay. Everybody says don't live in the past, right? What if that is actually terrible marriage advice? Like, what if actually, like, revisiting your past together is even better than date night?
Yeah. I mean, the reason why we came up with this topic this week is this weekend is our anniversary of our
Second first date?
second first date. Yeah, when we got back together. And so we were
We'll
obviously...
explain what that means.
Yeah, we were going down memory lane a little bit, and we thought, hey, this is kind of a great topic for this week.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about time travel in marriage and why it's actually a really powerful tool.
Yeah, I mean, we decided on the terminology of time travel because we both like our kind of sci-fi adventure-y type of things, and I love movies with time travel. I like everything that you can learn and glean, and that's kind of what we mean by this. It's the idea of not living in the past. You're not very rarely in a time, I'm trying to think if there's an instance of it. In a time travel movie, you don't tend to just go to the past and stay there and never ever come back, right?
No.
You travel, you learn something, there's some epiphany that happens, and then their life is forever changed when they go back to the present, which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
We want to, as a couple, kind of go into these past moments and revisit them, not live in them for forever.
Wait, so we're not building a time machine and physically going to the past? Or
If
are we?
you have that technology available to you, that sounds like an awesome date night. But I
Maybe that's how I got you.
that's a movie too. But I think the reason why this is so important is it helps remind you of the reason why you chose one another. Not to be a downer on marriage, but sometimes it can get monotonous and mundane, and you can hear the person burping from across the room and be like, why again?
Well, I think it's also. Have you ever heard if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it?
Sure.
I think it's kind of the same thing in marriage. So a lot of times the same type of argument may come up, the same type of issue, and specifically on the negative side, issues, problems, you're probably going to run into the same concept multiple times. If you remember how you dealt with that in the past, it will help you in your current situation. But at the same time, remember the good times too. Remember the fond memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, today we are going to share some of our stories and give you guys some tools for how you can kind of do this together at home too.
Yeah, and I think the key is this isn't just nostalgia. There's actually something powerful happening when couples reminisce. So, Eden, besides today on our second first date anniversary, when was the last time we actually sat down and talked about our early days?
I mean, sat down and talked about it is one thing, but just kind of passively doing this, going in and out of time travel, we do that often. But I think probably one of the last times we really sat down and talked about it, I think was actually just a few days ago. Just kind of sitting there and reliving some earlier times in our relationship and the good that was happening then.
Yeah.
So let's kind of break down and dive in here why this reminiscing actually matters. I know I hit on it a little bit initially, just that idea of remembering why you chose someone, right? But I think there's also something cool that in doing that, you get to go back and you get to have kind of this shared memory, shared identity. You are a we. It's the we-ness of the relationship. You're a couple. You're
Sorry,
a
the
team.
what? The what?
The we-ness.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I thought I misheard you there.
You made me say that again. But yeah, so I'm thinking one of the
The
things.
essence of we.
Yes. Gosh. So I was thinking about my family.
You were thinking about your we-ness?
You're not going to leave it alone, are you?
Okay, sorry. You were thinking about your family.
I was thinking about my family.
Okay.
We just recently went to the cabin
Yep.
with my family. You got to have some quality time up with my family, your in-laws. And one of the things we do all the time is we, as a family, reminisce. We go down memory lane all the time. And you've talked about how that's like kind of interesting because you don't share those memories, right? But my family and I do. And so when we talk about that, it reignites that bond and
Yep.
We get to go back into that time and place. So I think that is something that's a bit unifying. You know, we can all go our different directions and you come back together and you're like, that's right, we're a team, we're a unit, we're together in this.
Yeah. I think one of the other pieces of why this matters is it puts the current struggles that we're going through in perspective. Because as we reminisce about those old times, for example, in our lives, you know, when we lived in Virginia, finances and budgeting was a big issue. Or we've gone through the stress of losing a job, losing income, and having to deal with that. But we have taken those experiences and we learned from them. How did we navigate budget issues in Virginia? We can reminisce and remember how we handled it. How did we think about it? What were our fears? What were our stresses? How can we apply that today? This is something that just came up recently with budgeting, where we're like hardcore putting our budget in place, and we talked about, hey, we've been through this. We have failed at certain parts, but we also learned from it. I think, and then, you know, again, why reminiscing is great. I think flip side, it reminds us why we chose each other, the why. You know, we reference qualities in each other that we identified early on and how we saw it in our relationship. I tell you all the time about why I married you. I tell you I married you because, you know, the way you treated people, the way you treated your friends, the way you treated me, the way you talked to me, asked me questions, got me to open up. It's reminiscing. I'm remembering our first conversations and how you got me to open up. And how you still do that today. And those qualities that I saw in you so long ago, they're still there. And I've seen it all throughout our relationship. And so I get to reminisce on the old times, the old qualities, and the new. How has it changed too? So it helps that reinforcement of, why did I fall for you? Why am I still falling for you today? So yeah, I think, you know, I love finding why we got together.
You know, I love the why. I always say that. I think I say it pretty much every
The
episode.
letter?
Why did you do this to me?
Why?
Why? Yeah.
See, you love it.
I love why. I'm a curious person, but I like that.
The why? Like YMCA?
You are down so many bunny trails.
No, rabbit holes. Okay. Sorry, moving on.
Okay, so yes, let me get my train of thought back because I need to remember why I am talking about this. I did that on purpose just for you.
Thank you.
So while we're talking about this time travel, there is a difference between healthy nostalgia and the dangerous kind. So you
Yeah.
can do it in a way that can also be really negative, kind of condescending, being like, remember when you used to pursue me? Yeah, those were the good old days. Like, let me take you back in time to when you were a good partner. Or like that sort of nagging. Honestly, it's like disrespectful to the memory.
It's when it's almost weaponized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then there's the healthy version.
Yeah, the healthy version is possibly looking back and being like, right now, it feels like we kind of suck at connecting. So why don't we look back and be like, that was awesome. What we had at that time was awesome. How do we bring that back?
Yeah.
Can be the exact same, like focusing on the exact same point, but
Yep.
one is accusatory, like you said, weaponizing, and then the other one is that togetherness and coming at it from an angle of trying to build and strengthen a marriage, not control another person.
Yeah. It's not about like wishing you can go back. It's truly about honoring the past, honoring where you've been.
Yeah. So now, when we're honoring the past and honoring where we've been, I think this is kind of important to say because of my love of time travel aspects in movies.
Yeah.
There's kind of this like debate that tends to come up. I loved it in Avengers when they were, Endgame, when they were exploring like this idea of we need to go back and get all the different Infinity Stones
And they were like talking about all the rules of time travel.
and referencing like movies
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, because there are rules, right?
Yeah.
And there's debate on what these rules could be in this very real time machine. And I think what you can bring into your present and what you can't bring into your present, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like you can't go back and change the past is one of the biggest time travel rules. You touch the past, you mess completely with the future. And where I would tie that into actuality right now and our reality is you cannot go back and change the past. This is not an opportunity to go and live with regrets and look back and go, well, if only I had. There are lessons to be learned from looking in the past, but you can't change it. You can't control it. You can't fix it. And don't pick up that baggage and bring that back to the present. I think that would be the rules of time travel that we still need to honor.
Exactly.
So, in honor of our date-iversary here,
Yep.
why don't we together travel back in time a little bit to keep that corny cliche going here, and just revisit some of the key moments in our relationship.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's grab the time machine and let's time travel back.
Alrighty.
So I got my time machine. It's a watch. It's a clock. It tracks time.
Cute.
Thank you. Dad joke. Did you get it?
I did get it.
Really?
Yeah.
So like I didn't need to explain that it's a clock and it like handles time.
No.
No. Okay. Cool. Well, all right. Fine. We're on our time machine. All right. Let's do it. Stop number 1 on our journey. The beginning. Eden, tell me, what happened in the beginning?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Okay, yeah, okay. I see what.
See,
yes,
and
we
I
got
was
in-
there because I'm Eden, and if we are gonna travel all the way back in time, so that
sorry.
you can,
You're right. I said in the beginning. Sorry. Let's move it forward. Yeah.
well, I mean, but in the Garden of Eden, they were naked and unashamed when they were in Eden.
Okay. Sorry, you stepped in the time machine. You went a little too far forward. You went to later tonight.
Oh,
Let's go back to how about just the beginning of our very first date? How about like we'll get in the time machine. We'll go back to that. The beginning of us.
you were not naked and unafraid inside Eden on our first date.
No, I was not. See the Insecurities in Sex podcast. Okay, so tell me your version of our first date.
Very, very first date.
The very first date,
Okay.
not the second
Not the
first
second
date.
first date.
The first date.
So It was my first ever date.
Like real date? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I remember being just incredibly nervous. I had piles and piles of clothes on the floor after just like trying things on and throwing them on the floor and we met online. So this was my first time seeing you and figuring out if you were a real person and if you were going to kill me, all of those things.
Yep.
I was very afraid. But I remember sitting there.
I'm a scary guy.
It wasn't that you were scary. It was that the situation was scary, and I had no clue if you were scary or not.
Yep, that's fair.
Because, yeah. So, yeah, I remember meeting you and being very happy that you were who you said you were. That was point number one.
Good.
You were honest and a real human.
That is good.
And as we kind of talked throughout that, we went to Culinary Dropout for dinner.
Yep.
And we've gone back a time or two.
Of course. Reminisced.
Yeah, but I remember like exactly where we sat, and you were really sweet and kind, such a gentleman. I remember that you ordered healthy food, and I was like, crap, that means I have to order something healthy too. I really like their pretzels and like beer cheese, and I just wanted...
Their salad with salmon is delicious.
Yeah, I was like, that's the girl's supposed to get that on a first date. What is he doing?
Trying to be healthy.
Good for you. I wasn't trying to be healthy that day. So yeah, I remember that. I remember talking about just like different TV shows that we watched and stuff. Mm-hmm. The part, I'm trying to remember exactly. I remember you like offering to like walk me back like to my car, and I was
skeptical,
so afraid. I was like, this is it. It was a good date. He seemed sweet. He was kind of funny.
This is when the murder happens.
I parked in a parking garage like, I am going to die now. This is the end. How do I tell this guy to leave me the frick alone and not follow me to my car? Because then he's going to know my car. He's going to have too much access and information. I was like freaking out about all of that. And so when we got to like the parking garage at the top, I kind of like, bye, and wouldn't let you follow me all the way.
That's perfectly fine.
But otherwise, like, you were cool. You were really cool. I got home and I was like, oh my gosh, he was really awesome. And I was telling my best friend that I was like, I'm just like, I really like him. Like, this was fun. This was exciting. But he didn't tell me I was pretty. So, like, I have no idea if he liked it or not.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure if we were going to have another date.
Yeah. I didn't tell you looked pretty.
You didn't know if we were gonna have another date.
I get so nervous. So I do this thing. I get really nervous on dates in general. But literally, we had talked online, and like as we started texting back and forth, I was like, this girl is different. Like, you were just the way that you talked and the way that you engaged, and our conversation was just so unique to me that it was special, that I was really excited about this date.
Did you have piles of clothes on the floor trying on a whole bunch of outfits before you met me?
Nope. Okay. Look, you've now known me for a while. You know how I dress. I go shirt, bottom, whether it's shorts or pants, and throw them on.
That is what you do.
And it usually works. And back then it was very easy as well. I had my like kind of golf pants that were really comfy that I had like 6 pairs of, and then a polo. I think I swiped through a couple in the closet. Like, okay, I'm gonna go with this polo.
A black polo, a gray polo.
I got some
a blue polo.
I got some colored. I got some pretty fun polos. You know?
You do.
But yeah, I that's my version of throwing clothes. Trying them on is I put some effort in. I cycled through about 3 or 4 shirts, and I went, yeah, that one. So I tried really hard. I also did my hair. That is something that I don't do very often. my hair was also long.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, yeah, it was, I was so nervous. But we went and I got there first. I had sat at this high top table, and I remember you walking in and you were so attractive. That was the first thought, is like, damn. Okay. So your many, trying on clothes, it worked. It worked.
I had to find something that was like, I didn't try too hard, even though I clearly tried too hard. That showed off everything there was to show off.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance. Like, try really hard, but don't look like you tried really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really fun, and we just reminisced, even at that time, about our past individually, talking about shows that we watched and all the different things. But when I get too far in, I'm like, oh no, I'm 10 minutes into this date. Saying that you look pretty now, like I've missed it. I've missed my opportunity. I need to say that at the beginning. I've failed. I missed it. Oh God, it's gonna be so awkward if I say it now. And so,
taking a bite of my pretzel, be like, "You're so pretty."
So that's what's going on in my head, and why I then just went, "Oh God, I missed it. I lost it." So I did text you later that night, like, "By the way, you looked freaking gorgeous. I had so much fun." But it's funny, I don't remember the you being scared going into the parking garage. I think it was just like, oh, all right, yep, bye. And I just like lets you go.
I'm glad you didn't pick up that I was curious whether or not you were a serial killer.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you were doing like a really good like Ted Bundy type of thing. Like you were cute, and I would have like.
My gosh.
No, I'm saying like just
I
because
give off that vibe, right?
Just because you were nice didn't mean you weren't still a killer. I wasn't sure.
That's fair.
No, it's fun seeing like what memories we share, and where like we remember things kind of differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump into another one that we definitely remembered differently. It was on the next date, our first kiss.
Yeah, it was on the second date.
Yeah. So our first kiss. Okay. I'm going to take you back even more. I've told you this. Before us. Okay, I am not the most confident person. I was never the most confident person. I had a lot of insecurities that affected my confidence. So previous dates, previous people that I'd gone out with, like literally a couple people.
You were such a player. You were with like 100 people. We all know it.
Divided by 50. But I was the type of person that would say, do you mind if I kiss you?
Did you just say that consent is lame?
No, I think when you think of media and you think of like first kiss, the like anticipation, the tension, the beautiful like, and then we just kissed. Like we went for it. That's
tucking
the
my
version
hair behind her ear.
That's the version of first kiss that everybody imagines. Not, hey, do you mind if I kiss you? Like
with a hint of desperation.
We ended a date. We walked out. We're at your car, and I go, hey, do you mind if I give you a kiss? Yeah, it gets awkward. So funny. As we started dating, I was getting a little bit better in shape. I was starting to lose weight. I was starting to get more confident in life in general. And when it came to us on our second date, we went to the aquarium and afterwards walked back to your car. And we hugged. And then I think it was like as we were walking up to your car, I had it in my head. I go, we're going to kiss. Like I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna kiss her because I really like her. She's beautiful. We had such a fun time. So hugged, and then I kissed you, and I caught you by surprise. You did not expect that. It was awkward.
Could you tell it was awkward, or did I kind of?
No, I could tell it was a little awkward just because it was a little bit of like a shock. Like, whoa. Like, I could sense that was like happening in your head. Like, oh, whoa. So, not this, movie moment, not this
Or
story.
it was a movie moment. It was just a different scene.
Yeah. It was no Ryan Gosling moment. But yeah, it was a little awkward, but I was like, okay, it wasn't terrible, like wasn't, picturesque, but I still felt good. And then, I walked back and went home. What about, how was that for you?
Yeah. So the whole date, now to clarify, this was officially my second date in my life.
Yep.
Yeah, second date in my life. So I didn't have a ton of experience with dating and knowing like when is a guy supposed to hold your hand? When do you kiss? Like what is the order of all these events?
You were with the wrong person to like decide that, like know that.
Yeah, I was not the girl who was going to be this like, and by the third date you have sex type of thing. Like that was so far away from what I was going to be pursuing in a relationship. Yeah. So I was not like trying to like speed through these steps, right? And I came from a very strict purity culture background where like growing up, I was like, I'm not even going to kiss until I get married.
Yeah.
So
that's the background.
We get to
second date.
The second date, and I'm like, I think I'd like to hold hands. I think I'm ready to hold hands.
Taking it far.
And I don't know how that's supposed to like happen
Who
and get
initiates,
started.
How does it work? Yeah.
And
you ask?
And so I also was like, well, it's the guy's job to lead. So I will let him take the lead, and I'll just like awkwardly keep my hand like available. Like I didn't have like my hands like tucked into my jean pockets or whatever, right?
The one time, I really wanted your hand was to touch the stingrays, and you said, nuh-uh, I'm not touching that.
That's because I don't like touching weird things.
That's fair.
Not your hand. The
yes.
Stingrays.
Fair.
Anyways, so you went the whole date. You didn't hold my hand. You didn't like, we were like looking into these like exhibits and stuff. And I'm like, he didn't like put a hand on my shoulder, like nothing. There was zero physical contact apart from we took a picture and you put your arm around me like a side hug, like a guy friend.
No. It was not a side hug. It was full on around your shoulder. Like we're a couple taking a photo.
Yeah, but it also reminded me of, yeah. So yeah, you didn't make any moves. And I thought these moves came before kiss. So then we go
You're not wrong, by the way. I am wrong.
So then we are walking back to my car. I'm feeling a little disappointed and confused again because last time you didn't tell me I was pretty until like later.
I sound so terrible.
We were both insecure, clearly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you give me a hug and I'm like, oh, we're like, it's a real, like this is a front hug, which again, my world, big deal.
Whoa.
Like, whoa, it's a front hug. And I was thinking this is a front hug and that's all I was like thinking in my head. And then like lips were on my face and it was the most shocking thing ever. And I don't even think I kind of kissed back. I don't even think my lips were like pursed. Like I was so far away.
They were pursed. They were rigid.
You kissed a wall.
I do what I have to do.
And I kind of pulled away and I said goodbye.
Yeah. But so you did end up texting first me and going like, hey, sorry that was awkward. Next time I'm going to have to be the one to kiss you out of nowhere or something like that.
Yeah.
Which made me feel much better.
But what you didn't know between that kiss and that text was me like sobbing in the car on the way home because I was so like freaked out by the fact that you kissed me. It wasn't that it was, I mean, it was terrible. Like now I can say it was a terrible first kiss because of the whole context of the story. But it wasn't that I was like, ew, gross, never want to kiss him again. It was more like, oh my gosh, I just butchered that so bad.
We both did.
Yeah.
We made up for it when we broke up and then got back together. I should say when you dumped me. And then when we got back together, that first kiss, that was pretty magical. When we were both in on it and we both knew it was going to happen, nobody asked for it, it happened.
But you did wait until I gave you permission and I put kissing on
course.
the table.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to stop number 2 on our time travel journey. Those moments that taught us something, usually those are the hard ones. Eden, okay. What was a fight or hard season that changed us?
When we were getting married, like when we were engaged and we were prepping to get married, I'm a very analytical person. I can get in my head. I also have anxiety, like diagnosed anxiety, not just like I'm anxious.
Yep.
And this wedding prep time just
Shot your anxiety up tenfold.
and it wasn't just like the stress of planning a wedding, that was real.
It was the stress of spending the rest of your life with somebody.
Yeah, I was really scared of that commitment, and I didn't know I was scared of commitment, but I was.
Yeah.
And I was really afraid that you didn't actually want me. And so, and I was pretty positive I was just not good enough for you because of my own struggles and stuff. Like, I just felt like there were better girls out there for you and that you shouldn't marry me. And you had, you know, kind of adamantly told me otherwise, but I was so insecure and so afraid that I started aggressively trying to push you away without sabotaging. Like, I didn't go out and cheat or something that would have actually pushed you away.
Yeah.
I just used my words to adamantly be like, you should leave me. Like, I tried to convince you as hard as I could that you should leave. And I think part of it was because I wanted to see if you would stay. Like, I gave you an out, and if you weren't going to take it, then I had a little bit more trust that you were going to be in it for the long haul. But sorry, I'm yawning.
You're fine. We have a child.
Yeah. But yeah, you didn't take it, obviously. You're here.
Yeah,
I think that it created a lot of conflict, honestly.
Yeah, it did. I think it was scary the first couple times because I was also insecure, and so a little bit, and so you kind of pushing like, I think you should leave me. It was always the way that you said it that I knew it was coming from a place of anxiety. It wasn't like legitimately like, here's all of my indiscretions, thus you should leave me. It was, I'm scared. So it was hard the first couple times, and it steadily got easier. And even to this day, it still happens occasionally where, you know, you may just be feeling anxious or be a little bit on a downward spiral, and you're like, I don't think I'm worthy. And reminiscing of those times helped me learn like how to deal with that today, which is let you feel your feelings, but also be your rock. Let you know, hey, remember why I chose you. Remember why I'm here. Remember why I'm still here.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I saw those. It was hard, but we learned from it. And we still deal with that today sometimes, and you deal with my stress and anxiety as well, which has come up many years ago as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely for me since then, it's shifted to where I do trust now that you ultimately do want to be here. I will still have those little spiral moments for sure. But there has been that shift, especially the more we revisit that in the past and we
Yeah.
do this where we kind of time travel here. I hear your side, and I remember what actually happened, but also what you communicate to me now is like, this is what was going on in my head, this is what was going on in my heart, and now I know that that's who I married and that's who committed to stay with me. So that's the kind of things shifted for me.
Yeah.
What about you? What's like a fight that you look back on that seems like almost like silly now?
Yeah. I think early on, in our dating and then even a bit in our engagement, I was having a difficult time with a friend of yours while we were dating. You had deep trust in this person. You listened to them. You would talk to them about every question you had, every happy thing that happened.
Every thought in my head.
Everything. And I think I had low trust in them. And I think it was because I did not have a sense that they were fighting for our relationship to succeed. It felt like you would come back to me with anxiety about our relationship after talking to them. And thus it made me really distrust that this person actually wants you to be with me.
Yeah.
But this was a really important person in your life. And so I think that's where there was this tension. You had deep trust of this person. I had no trust of this person. You had a history. I had no history with this person. But funny enough, it's different now because back then you trusted me. I also trusted you and that you would choose me. That while yes, you may or may not be processing something with that friend, I have to trust that if you're with me, it's because you want to be with me. And if you want to be with me, you'll fight your friend for us.
Yeah, if I had to.
If you had to. You heard my fears, my anxiety about that. We had those difficult conversations. And it's funny now because that friend is like a champion for our life and marriage now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really grateful back then that you started opening up to me, and I think it's been really great to see now how that's kind of transitioned over the years.
Yeah.
So let's transition to like a new stop in
Yeah.
our time travel. Let's go to some happy, good times. We just talked about some heavy things.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what is one of your favorite memories of us? Like one that you like to go back to?
I think it's one that is probably shared between us, but it is a really unique moment for me and for us. It was, I couldn't remember when it happened exactly, but we were walking in the park. It was like there was like a skate park or something, and we were walking around the grass area at night. We'd gone there, just walking, talking. And I got to really talk through with you about my dad who passed away and just reminiscing and about him and about us. And we were talking about our hopes and our dreams on that crisp night. And it was just something that was just beautiful. And I think, I don't know, it's like replaying that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about scene from a movie. That walk was definitely movie worthy. It was meaningful to me too.
Yeah.
I think my like one of my favorite memories of us that's not like super deep and heavy is our second first date. Well, the date actually, not the like DTR, can we get back together conversation.
Yeah.
We went to lunch and then we went furniture shopping. not like to purchase, but just to
No.
walk around. We
It's
went
fun
to
to just walk around.
yeah, we went to Living Spaces and looked around, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting serious. No.
We're looking at couches together. What? Put
But
a ring on it. Jeez.
it was kind of that. Like, the girly mind totally went. I think we knew we got back together, and it felt just like it was immediately more serious because we chose to get back together.
Yeah.
And more to
We
that
both
story.
chose each other.
There were some very intentional choices made
Yeah.
to make this relationship happen. And so, yeah, furniture shopping was just kind of like fun and lighthearted, but also this giddiness of like, what if this ends up being real? And it did end up being real. We did end up buying a couch from Living Spaces.
That same Living Spaces.
Yeah. And so,
Funny, after we had moved 2,000 miles away and moved 2,000 miles back.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved every time we'd like sit on the couch and try it out on that date, and me being like, I wonder if he would just like, you know, put his hand on my leg, or like, what it would be like if, you know, he like kissed me or something. Like, all of a sudden now I was like excited for all of that.
Yeah.
But it was just fun. It was fun dreaming together with you, but then also like having my own dreams happening that were like way far in the future that I would never tell you in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Another fun memory that we reference often is it's our little inside joke, is when we say to each other, "Not tonight," which may not mean anything to anybody, but it was third date back together. I think it was third or fourth, something like that. But we were hanging out. I think we were watching the Santa Claus.
Yes, because we got back together right around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I got to have my Hallmark Christmas.
Yes.
All right, sorry, I cut you off.
No, we were watching it, and
Did you just say the Santa Claus?
no, I said the Santa Claus,
Okay, good. Just making sure. Sometimes you say it wrong.
the Santa Claus.
Yeah, no, that's not it.
Oh, sorry, the Santa Claus.
Because it's about the clause in the contract.
No, his name's Santa Claus.
That's not what the movie's about. You weren't paying much attention to the movie, however.
Yeah, so because you had put kissing back on the table. So, you know, again, that confidence thing, I'm also a person that moves rather slowly, in general. But I think we were kissing a couple times, and I think my hand was like here, and it had gone like on your shoulder, and it had gone to like your clavicle, about there, like about 2 inches from your shoulder to your clavicle. And you had just like looked over and you were like, "Not tonight."
I felt your energy shift, okay?
And I said, "Yeah, no problem."
Was I crazy?
No, not at all. It didn't ruin anything.
Was I picking up what you were putting down?
Slowly. I was slowly putting it down.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny because we still say it all the time in like the most random settings. It's not like me like trying to shoot you down all the time. It's just this like funny, like, do you want this for dinner tonight?
Not tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's fun that we have something that's like just ours. I mean, now it's not because we just told the whole world, but nobody else was there with us in that moment.
No.
And it's something we get to joke about and reference together.
Yeah. Okay. Now, last stop on the time travel journey.
Okay.
The stuff that could have broken us, but it didn't. The hard stuff.
Yeah.
This one I think is super important because it reminds you that we have gotten through those hard things before. We have learned tough lessons in our past that we apply to issues in our perspective of our marriage today.
There are definitely some heavy moments that were defining for us and strengthening for us. I think one of the biggest, most impactful times for me was after we got married. For about that first year, I was really, really struggling with probably one of the deepest depressions I've been through.
Yeah.
And one of the most prolonged periods of time. And I would kind of really withdraw from you at times. And I remember that I would go take a bath and run the bathtub water, and like I would like drain it and keep running water and drain it and keep running water.
That's why our water bill is so high.
It
No, I'm
is.
just-
No, but I would do it because like, yes, it was nice to sit in a bathtub, but it also you wouldn't be able to hear me cry. Was kind of there was no running away from me. Like we shared a house, so to have my deep depressive meltdowns, but trying not to freak you out, I would
Yeah.
go take a bath. And I remember you, I guess like you heard. I do think sometimes you had this like weird sixth sense that something was wrong, and you would come looking for me. But
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I would literally wake up. Like there was no reason for me to wake up. There wasn't. You weren't.
yeah, because
Nothing
it'd be like
loud
late at
was
night
happening.
sometimes.
Yeah, it was happening at midnight, 2 a.m. sometimes. I would just wake up and go and find you in the bathtub.
And I mean, they were really like really dark times for me, and some heavy, scary thoughts in my head. And you would sit there and hold me while I just sobbed and couldn't say anything. I remember like you picked me up out of the bathtub and you toweled me off, and I couldn't talk. Like I was totally like locked and couldn't talk, couldn't make eye contact, nothing. And dried me off. You brought me back to bed. You like told me like truths about myself and helped me like kind of fall asleep again. But like there was no deep pressure of like, tell me everything that's going, like you didn't freak out. You just created a safe place for me.
Yeah, and sometimes there was struggle. I would talk to you about. I used to say a lot in our relationship, like, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I haven't dealt with this before. But it was because I was truly wanting, what's the perfect solution? How do I get you out of this immediately? And I think it was a learning on how do I show up for you. I struggled with that. But then slowly we kept talking and learned how I could show up for you. Just telling you those truths, telling you you're safe. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. But those things. And I think it was over time also just helping you get in to see a therapist or a psychiatrist, either one.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't on medications at the time.
Yeah. But there was struggle, but there was also just us being there for each other. And, you know, you weren't depressed 100% of the time. It was, a lot of times it would hit hardest at like really particular times, and then you'd kind of be less. And I think it was utilizing those times to just talk through what tools we can use. What did we do 5 nights ago that worked? Sometimes reminiscing doesn't have to be years ago. Sometimes it can be yesterday. And what did we learn from yesterday?
Yeah.
So in that time, when did you realize we were actually going to be okay?
I think it was after you did that for me multiple times, and me recognizing that no matter how dark it seems, tomorrow was always there, and tomorrow was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And so that you helping me get through the dark night helped me see the beauty of the next day a lot of times. And so it took a little bit, but eventually I figured that out. And now whenever I still encounter some depression, I'm able to jump to that point a lot faster. And I feel like you're able to be a lot more confident now too, and you're not as lost anymore.
Yeah. And like we talked about, when you are like in those moments, it's hard to see the solution. It's hard to see the right answer. But looking back, they say hindsight's 20/20. You can see what worked, what didn't work. And that's one of the most useful things of this entire exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, quick pause here. If you are really enjoying this conversation,
I am.
I would love if you guys would go on ahead and subscribe. It really helps us out, and I think it also gives more opportunity for people to listen to these episodes, and you never know, somebody might really need to hear something. So, yeah.
Yeah, and leave a comment with your favorite memory with your spouse. We read all the comments, all of the 0 that have happened. We read
We've
them
had
all.
comments before, and we've had like messages.
We have. We do read and respond to everything so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we can step out of our time machine.
Okay.
You know, I'm still wearing it. You know, but okay. Okay, we just time traveled through our relationship, some of the firsts. So how can you do this at home? Eden, what's the easiest way for couples to start?
I mean, step number one is just like looking through old photos together. We do this pretty much every day because we have our like Google Chromecast, and we're able to have photos that like an album.
It's like a screensaver.
As the screensaver, yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of just watching like the Netflix shows that are next up, we can also just watch like our memories. And we have sat there and joked about how like that's the show we'd rather watch sometimes. It's just like pictures of our daughter and
Pictures of us.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what your favorites album that you've thrown together. Yeah, it's lovely. And also because we pause like TVs and stuff so much, one for our daughter, but two, just pause the TV to like start talking, and then after whatever, like 5-10 minutes or something, that screensaver comes on. We're like, oh, okay. Hey. And then we just watch it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it brings you like right back to that moment. So that would be like step one. Totally go and just look at old photos together.
Yeah.
And go search for that first date. I scrolled back one time to our very, very first text. It took me like an hour of just like swiping to try to get to the very beginning, and I could never do it now. We've been together too long. But
I deleted ours.
yeah, I know. But yeah, it was fun to just like go all the way back and be like, oh, this is how we said hello.
I have them all from the second time we got together. All of the text.
Cause yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
number
yeah.
one. Number two would be driving by old landmarks. So like old apartments or houses or date spots.
Yeah.
So for us, you know, we've got we've lived here for pretty much our whole dating relationship at
We
least.
live a mile and a half from where we lived, when we first met.
Yeah. So it's fun to go back to those places. I still told him the other day, I was telling you that I wanted to go for a walk in your old neighborhood with our daughter because we used to like walk around that neighborhood and dream about having kids. And so now I want to be like, let's go with our daughter. So yeah, going back to those old places and remembering what it was like, things that happened there, and just kind of having that nostalgia come back together.
Yeah. Similar to looking through old photos, if you're married, looking through wedding photos specifically, you know, we got our 6 up here. So we look at those often, pretty much every day. But on our second anniversary, we did the old school, printed out all, I think it was like 700 photos, and then created an album picking like the best ones. We went away for a little weekend, and that was like 5 hours of our weekend. It was super fun, just literally going through every photo, remembering the entire wedding, talking about the memories from it, and then putting our album together. It was super fun. Tip number 4, Eden is a big fan of this. You are really into music. Is create a shared playlist of songs from like those different eras of your relationship. We did this early on where we had songs that you would find that would be relevant to our relationship at the time and play them for me, and they were beautiful. We oftentimes go back to our first dance song, Also, our private dance song from our wedding, the very last song where it was just us two.
You just said it and it made me tear up and like, see, that's it. That was the time travel right there. Like you said it, I heard the song, and then I remembered like the
Us
two big
dancing.
memories with
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is each song can be like a time capsule. It can take you back. I think isn't there like science that memories that tie in senses are stronger? So it's like an old smell or a song. A song can release those memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, tip number 5. Have those remember when conversations. Just like we kind of just did back and forth, remember our first kiss, remember our first date, remember our first fight, remember our first apartment.
I think it's also actually useful. I think people should record themselves talking through their firsts. I'm gonna create a resource, throw it on the website, just to prompt people on their firsts. Sit down with your spouse, find a recording device, and record it. You can then reference those conversations and review them. It's fun. We have this podcast, which we filmed a bit of the podcast, like a year and a half ago. We've rewatched those before.
Yeah.
I guarantee in a year from now, maybe not. We're not going to rewatch every episode, but we're going to look back on this because it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Last tip here, tip number 6, the anniversary tradition. So, like we said, this is one of our anniversary time frames. So take that time to review kind of the past year's highlights. Like you can go back in time, but just take that moment to think through the past year. What are some of the big
Ups
and downs and things that you learned and things that you enjoyed, so that you can start adding to that time machine.
Yeah. Okay. Here's when this really matters. We're nearing a hard season, right? When you forget why you even like each other, go back to when you couldn't get enough of each other. Because that's important to remember the why, your favorite letter.
Yeah, and that's where there's a balance, right? You're not living in the past. You're honoring it, you're cherishing it, and you're gleaning from it.
Yep.
You are not trying to recreate it. You're not trying to just go back to a first date. So many beautiful things have happened in your relationship since then. So take the lessons and the joy and the wonder from that first date, maybe the awkwardness and the fear,
first
whatever.
kiss, awkwardness.
Yeah. And weave it in with all the good and the beauty that's been happening now. You don't want to just be stuck in the past.
Yeah, and you got to remember the goal is to say, look how far we've come. Look at what we've been through and what we've survived. And look at what we've created. We've created this life together. We created, if you have kids, we created our kids together. Look at what we've been through and where we are.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. So if you've got a favorite memory with your spouse, drop that in the comments and we can start having a little bit of a conversation. Or if you're more comfortable because it's private, feel free to DM us and we'd love to kind of share that memory with you and say like, oh my gosh, that's a cool idea. I've never been on a date to that place or whatever.
Yeah, and if this episode resonated with you, share it with your partner, friend, anybody, please. No.
Oh my gosh.
No. But especially if you're listening to this alone without your partner, I think, maybe even listen to it together and use these times and prompts to talk about your own time travel. Use that resource.
Yeah. We have done it many times. We have listened to other marriage podcasts. There are a lot of other great ones out there too.
Yeah.
And we will have conversations after we listen to it together or pause many times throughout.
Exactly.
So next week, we are going to be exploring sex after a baby. So what it looks like, the timeline, the pressure, the fear. You won't want to miss that one. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And if you ever want more from us, visit our website, majorlymarried.com. We put episode descriptions, resource guides, all that good stuff on there.
Yeah, and if you're not already following us on Instagram, you can find us at Majorly Married.
Yep. All right. You know what's wild though? Doing this whole episode reminded me of so many things that I'd forgotten. Not just sitting here talking, but when we were thinking through, like, whoa, what do we want to talk about? And I remember you had asked me one of the questions, like, oh, what is one specific memory? And I was struggling with one specific because all of a sudden, like, these memories were literally just like flooding into my brain.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we do know these stories. It's good to sometimes just really go back and dive in and just like really remember together and enjoy that moment together. So I'm glad we got a chance to do that tonight and just kind of.
Yep. So that's our challenge for you. Go home, talk to your partner, ask them what their favorite memory of you two is. See where the conversation goes. See what you both remember. The good, the bad. What'd you learn?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us for a little while. We can't wait to talk with you next week.
All right. Thanks for listening. See you again.
Bye.
Bye.